Welcome back to another explainer. So today we're unpacking something pretty fascinating. We're looking at the psychology behind a highly structured 7-minute micro lesson plan. I mean, if you've ever had to stand up in front of a room and instantly captivate an audience, you know exactly how incredibly difficult it can be. But teachers, they actually have a specific, meticulously designed tool for this. It's called set induction, basically the skill of the introduction. We're going to break down exactly how one lesson plan uses this skill to perfectly hook a classroom of 8th or ninth standard history students. All right, let's dive right into this. The document we're dissecting today is an actual micro-lesson plan, and we're going to break it down almost like a movie script. It outlines a step-by-step interactive procedure between a teacher and their students, completely designed to introduce the revolt of 1857. And honestly, understanding these specific mechanics isn't just for teachers. It's a literal masterclass in holding attention for anyone who needs to present information. As you'll see, the absolute genius of this document is in how it seamlessly transitions from simple visual aids to getting the students to arrive at the main topic completely on their own. Here's a quick look at our roadmap for how this unfolds. We've got the art of introduction, arousing student curiosity, reviving previous knowledge, linking to the unit, and finally, the big reveal. Okay, let's start with part 1, the art of introduction, setting the stage. Picture this. It's right before the teacher even utters a single syllable to the class. According to the lesson plan, the teacher completes the board formalities without disclosing the specific title of the day's lesson. They write the date on the top left, the subject, history, and the top middle, and the standard, 8th, on the top right. But right in the middle, they intentionally leave the subunit title completely blank. It is a brilliant use of suspense. By establishing the context but omitting the main subject, the teacher immediately manufactures a mystery. The students know they're about to learn something, but they have absolutely no idea what it is yet. Moving right along to step 2, arousing student curiosity, the visual hook. Now, what's really interesting about this interaction is how it actually starts. It doesn't begin with a lecture. Instead, the teacher simply shows a map of British India in 1850, or maybe a picture of an Enfield rifle cartridge. That's it. The lesson plan notes the expected student activity here is just that the students observe the map or image curiously. And this taps right into our first defined psychological subskill of set induction, arousing curiosity and the use of teaching aids. The transition into the core topic relies purely on visual intrigue. You see, the teacher gives the students something tactile and specific to look at, which primes their brains to start asking questions before any verbal dialogue even begins. Which brings us to part 3, reviving previous knowledge, starting with the familiar. So now the silence breaks and a carefully crafted call and response interrogation begins. The teacher asks the first question, setting an authoritative but totally pleasant tone. Students, we know that India was once a colony. Which foreign company originally came to India for trade? Notice how the teacher starts with an undeniable, universally accepted fact within that classroom that India was a colony, and then asks a very straightforward historical question based right on that fact. And right on cue, functioning exactly as the lesson plan predicts, the students respond. The British East India Company. They correctly identify the entity, proving that they're engaged and, most importantly, in a state of active readiness. The document identifies this subskill as the revival of previous knowledge. The teacher is purposefully tapping into what the students already firmly know. But why? Well, to build their confidence. I mean, think about how you could use an easy win like this in your own meetings. By starting with something familiar, the students feel smart, they feel capable, and they are totally ready to tackle the increasingly difficult questions that the teacher is about to throw at them. Okay, part 4, linking to the unit, the psychological pivot. Here's where the teacher starts psychologically maneuvering the students closer to that hidden topic, asking, how did the British treat the Indian farmers, soldiers, and kings over time? This prompt brilliantly escalates the narrative. We've just moved away from basic economic trade and suddenly shifted the focus onto human impact and systemic oppression. The students naturally supply the narrative, replying they treated them unfairly and exploited them. The teacher didn't lecture them about exploitation at all. The teacher merely prompted them to recall it themselves. The lesson plan highlights this as the sub-skill of effectiveness, specifically focusing on involving the students. By framing the question around broad categories like farmers, soldiers, and kings, the teacher successfully involves the maximum number of students in the logic flow. This ensures everyone in the room understands the stakes of the history they're discussing. Now here is the absolute crucial psychological pivot point. The teacher asks, when people are oppressed and treated poorly for 100 years, what is the ultimate reaction of the people against the rulers? The teacher steps away from specific Indian history for just a brief second to ask for a universal human reaction to oppression. And this brilliantly illustrates the power of this method. The students respond, they protest or start a rebellion or revolt. The students have organically generated the exact concept the teacher wants to introduce. It's like the students essentially invented the idea of the lesson themselves. This is defined in the source document as the linking with unit subskill. It's just a seamless psychological bridge, connecting their general historical knowledge and understanding of human nature directly to the specific upcoming lesson. Finally, Part 5, the big reveal, statement of aim. We've made it to the climax. That blank space on the blackboard is finally about to be filled. The teacher validates their previous answer and delivers the final, highly specific question. Exactly. Can anyone name the first major large-scale armed rebellion that shook the British Empire in India in the mid-19th century? Notice the progression here. We've gone from a broad visual of a map, to trade, to oppression, to human rebellion, and now finally asking for a concrete historical event. Fully primed and guided, the students attempt the answer, the mutiny or the 1857 revolt. By arriving at this specific event, the students demonstrate their deployment of the creative and effectiveness subskills. They've successfully solved the mystery that was established at the very beginning of the class. The lesson plan dictates that the teacher now speaks with confidence and a pleasant tone, saying, "Very good. This massive uprising is known as the first spark of Indian independence. So students, today let us study about the revolt of 1857. And immediately after stating this aim, the teacher turns to the blackboard and writes the title clearly in the space that was previously left blank. The suspense is resolved, and the objective is officially locked in. What's really mind-blowing here are the strict requirements this procedure followed, as listed in our source material. Number 1, no direct teaching. The teacher introduced this massive topic without explaining a single cause or consequence yet. Number 2, time management. This entire masterclass in psychology is designed to be completed within just 5 minutes. And number 3, maximum student activity. By framing questions carefully, the teacher ensured the whole room was participating, achieving a true state of readiness for the actual lecture. So, what does this all mean for us? It really makes you rethink how we communicate. I mean, if a teacher can perfectly guide a classroom of 8th graders to deduce a complex historical event in under 5 minutes, purely through visual aids and strategic questioning, without doing any direct teaching, how might we rethink the way we introduce big ideas in our own meetings, speeches, or presentations? The art of the introduction isn't about telling people what they need to know. It's about making them realize they already want to know it. Thanks so much for joining me for this explainer, and I'll catch you on the next one.